Us feel alright.
Oh, wow. That is a lot of energy.
Oh, I used to have a pet cockatiel when I was in college.
No.
And you know what her name was? Lucy.
Whimsy?
Lucy.
What?
Lucy.
Oh,
Lucy.
why?
I'm home. Yeah.
Could she talk?
I never taught her to talk. She just chirped a lot like the bird in that video, but I really enjoyed that. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Oh, well, that's a cool song, Anything he does is cool.
Yeah. No, it was just the mood elevator I needed right now. I needed something funny and whimsical and
yeah, well, if you want funny and whimsical, that I'm your girl.
Oh, I know that, Whimsy. It's in your name.
I know. I fought it for the longest time. I was trying desperately to be taken seriously. I am a doctor and a scientist. And people would just laugh hysterically.
I think your parents gave you the perfect name. You're the only Whimsy I've ever known in my whole life, and it just suits you so well.
I think it's clearly my destiny.
Oh, yes.
And you know what else is a destiny? The fact that all these amazing people are here.
I know.
Let's give greetings to our fellow Taco Tuesday guest. How y'all doing? How you doing?
Harry and let's see, Chris and Kay and Wendy and Donald and Terry, and I'm just looking through some of the names. Oh, it's so nice. I see all the little happy emojis and nice words for us. Thank you, everybody. It means a lot.
Wow. Welcome to everybody here. A special shout out to all of you who could make it here. Gratitude to those of you who have become members of the channel. It absolutely does pay for things. It pays for our filming, our lighting, our actors, all that good stuff, props, etc. And so we thank you for memberships. We also thank you just if you like and subscribe. Special shout out to those people who are also helping today. Debbie Brady, amazing creative director and talent scout, talent manager. We give her gratitude. Kay Travel to Row, thank you for your help. Also, Joel Tilson, he is the official floor director. If you have any questions for us today, he is your person. Also to anybody I missed who could be helping today. Wow, it's been a busy week, Chuck.
Yes, it has. It has for me anyway.
Do tell, what have you been up to? What
have I been up to? Well, mostly it's been a lot of work for my YouTube channel. It was Oscar week. I posted something like 40 videos over about a 4-day period. That's a record for me. I went into downtown Hollywood and I shot little remotes in front of the Dolby Theater where it was under construction and all the street barricades and everything, because a lot of people don't get to see that sort of thing.
That's right, they don't. And how many people get employed just to put an event like that together? The people behind the scenes.
Good question. But it's the same thing like with any movie or TV show. I mean, there are often hundreds of people who are employed to do that sort of thing. That's why the actors and writers strike hit this talent so hard, because they're just like tens of thousands of jobs tied in with the studios and with the industry. And then it trickles down to other businesses like restaurants and shops and things, services.
How did you feel? First off, did you see any famous people?
Well, not there.
No.
Because it was ironically not there.
At his job all the time.
It was just under preparation. It was like literally the red carpet was under plastic tarp and there were concrete barricades and chain metal fences. I saw like a few reporters, like ABC7's George Pinocchio. He was outside with a microphone doing pre-interviews and things like that, but certainly no stars. No stars came out until Sunday night. And I was safely ensconced at home at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we do want your opinion. Many of us here do love the Oscars. So first off, which Oscars was this?
This was the 96th annual Oscars.
Okay, so first, what is your opinion? What's your review for the Oscars?
What is my review? Actually, I thought it was one of the better shows this year. It moved along well. They actually finished under time. Shows like that are notorious for running over. They finished soon, and I understand Jimmy Kimmel actually had to fill some time for the remaining minutes. But they streamlined it a bit, which is a good sign. It was entertaining. I think everybody loved Ryan Gosling doing. Remember, I'm Not Ken? You and I saw Barbie together, the Barbie movie. He did it live on stage, and it was well done. It was a real crowd pleaser. Yeah, I liked the show. Wow.
So I think I will go back and look at Just Ken, because I think that's just such an hysterically, there's just so much funny about it, because it's like the blonde bimbo lament, but it's a guy singing. It's so tongue in cheek. It's like something that Marilyn would do. I'm just a pretty.
Did you see any of the number? They actually parodied Marilyn Monroe's "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend."
Right. Yeah. The whole entire thing was a parody of that.
Yeah, they did that. It was just, it was fun. It was fun. It did not disappoint anyone that I know who saw that. And you just saw the audience even. They were singing along, and he was going around holding the microphone up to different stars and having them sing into it.
Seriously? Oh my God! That does sound like fun.
Watch it. It's probably on YouTube.
Okay, we'll move on. We will move on, and we have to do the Empath prayer before we do any blitzes. And we can certainly blitz about it when we get to the blitzes. But Are you optimistic or pessimistic about the future of Hollywood, given what's happening with your
Mm,
job, with actors expanding into other avenues like this job? I mean,
well, just that. This is exactly what's happening. We're seeing everything being shaken up right now, and the wheel is being reinvented, and it's definitely going over into things like what we're doing right now, YouTube channels, where anybody can be a star, so to speak. Anybody can have the spotlight. I remember years ago, I saw Marianne Williamson, this is like 25 years ago, giving a lecture at the infancy of the internet. And she said, every one of you is now a television station. You're a radio station. You're a media center. Every single one of you has that in your hands now, literally in your hands to do that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Hollywood goes over the coming years. And plus, a lot of it is actually leaving the movie theaters and going to streaming services now. I think the
yeah,
pandemic.
and I mean, we did a poll here, and the average was 50% of their viewing time. Oh, I hear something, an echo. 50% of the viewing time is spent watching YouTube. So that means that they're
That's
watching, 50% of their money is not going to Hollywood. It's going to you and me and other independent artists that are putting out things like this.
absolutely. I had no idea until I started doing this show with you and then started working with my wonderful manager, Debbie Brady, and my own channel. And I honestly did not know YouTube was this big. That's how out of touch I was. And then I started making, I make phone calls for you. I talk to a lot of you people out there, and I've had people tell me on the phone, I don't watch TV more. I watch YouTube. So it's been a big education for me.
Yeah, a big education. And I think also artists have to be empowered. Artists have to, if you're an artist and you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I think I still hear crickets.
Crickets?
I don't know. Let's see. Am I on too high or something? I don't know.
That's usually the expression people when there's no applause. I hear crickets out in the audience.
I'm always hearing strange things. But yeah, so it's very empowering for artists to take control over their representation to some extent.
Yes, I love that individuals are being empowered, because having been in this business so long, I've seen how talent is treated by the industry here. There's not a lot of respect, and unless you're in that upper 1.5% that actually, does the A-list things and you make money for the studios. Other people are just trying to put rent on their, pay their rent, put food on their tables, survive. And many they have to work other jobs. So I love this. I love this idea of people taking charge, claiming their power.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, I think everybody's here who's going to join us. We're going to quickly do the Empath prayer. We're going to get started. And if you haven't had a chance to like and subscribe yet, please go ahead and do so. Let's go ahead. We'll do the Empath prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. So have you had time to do art? I'm always wondering about your art because you do spend so much time now producing. I wonder if your art suffers.
I don't do as much as I used to, but I still do art. Sometimes I do it just to calm my nerves. I find, I learned this from you, if I may say, when you were training me to get my NDA, assistant license, and I was having to do all that studying. I found sometimes it helped me take 30 minutes and just work on a drawing or a painting and then go back, and go back to the studies and go back and forth, use the left brain and the right brain. And that gave me more of a grounded feeling
Do you have a schedule now as an artist?
I do
Where
make
you
schedule.
say I have to do 2 hours because
Well,
I get this. We have a huge audience full of artists, writers and artists. Do you feel like you need to have a set schedule? Because right now you must be just struggling
I
with
do.
time.
I do. I don't always adhere to it. That's kind of a loaded question because as an artist, I don't know how much time a piece is going to take because I channel and it just comes through me as it wants to come through me. So how do you say, oh, this is going to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? But I also have to live within the structure of a lot of responsibilities during the day, including making phone calls for you, doing my art, doing my housework,
Oh,
doing my
that's right. You also do that
That's
for a
hard
living.
for you. Yeah. So I
Thank you.
have done my best to write out some kind of schedule, usually before I go to bed, actually. I have a spiral bound notebook. I always jot down ideas and things, what I want to work on, but I will just do a schedule like, okay, I'm going to be up this time. I'll try to give 30 minutes to this, an hour and a half for this, try to roughly estimate. And it helps me because I need structure in my life, very much so.
Do you have a painting for us today? Or
Yes, I do.
I didn't do it where
Something.
today.
Okay, remember that book idea I told you about the starlets, a lot of forgotten actresses, people
Oh, I
never
love that
really.
subject. Yes.
Well, Martha Ray. You know who she is? Martha Ray.
Wow.
She was a wonderful comedian. Also had a beautiful singing voice. I was really surprised when I found some of her music. Gorgeous voice. Excellent comedian. When she was younger, she was even quite a beauty, as you can see, during the 1930s and 40s. But many know her from her latter years after she was older. She used to do a lot of guest star roles on sitcoms and different things. She used to do denture grip commercials.
Huh.
Take it from me, the big mouth, Martha Ray. These dentures with all this gook all over them and drop them into a glass of Polident to clean them, but it made her quite wealthy. I had a
Well, good. I was wondering because most of these stories they
knew
die of
Martha Ray.
poverty on drugs.
Yeah. I had a friend who knew Martha Ray. He always called her Maggie, and he just adored her, And anyway, I just reached into the portfolio. I thought, what have I not shown on here? And I thought, okay, I'll get out Martha Ray, looking all glamorous, with her hat and her couture and makeup and everything. So anyway, that's my artwork for today.
She's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Very
She was a
beautiful.
beauty. People forget that about her. And often because she was a comedian, she was always mugging and making funny faces. But you could see she could also make a pretty face too.
That's right.
And she was a great humanitarian. The Oscars, getting back to that, they give an award called the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. And it's only given infrequently. They awarded that to her for all the work she did for military veterans. She actually was on the war zone. She went out there with the soldiers and slept in tents with them and cooked over fire.
I bet she did.
In fact, I could be wrong on this. I think she's buried in Arlington National Cemetery. They gave her
Wow.
a funeral with full military funeral because they felt she had earned the right to that because she had been on the front lines with the soldiers. And she was even doing this in the Vietnam War too. Yeah, great.
What a lovely woman. What a lovely.
Yeah, a lot of great things about her. I'm sorry,
Well,
I knew her and I never got to meet her.
I think we've got to take people out of their misery. I mean, it's like Christmas Eve, isn't it? I mean, the excitement, people are just like Wednesday. Before we even got online, the questions were mounting. Where is Kate Middleton? Where is Kate Middleton?
This is turning into a tawdry soap opera.
I think we stretched it out as long as we could with the opening. What do you think? Are the kids thoroughly hysteric or what? I don't know.
I don't know what to make of this. You sent me some videos to watch before the show, and I was like, oh my God. They were pointing out all the things that have taken place. There were things I didn't even realize.
All right. So let's talk about the first because you guys bombarded me. You guys bombarded me, and I condensed it for Chuck and me. Oh my God. So the first comment or question has to do with the fact that Kensington Palace released a photo and now they're saying that Kate Middleton, her Twitter account, she is taking responsibility. Somebody claiming to be Kate Middleton on Kate Middleton's account. She said that she did it. Okay. She, what is it called? It's called airbrushing, or what is it called? It's called
photoshopping. I guess.
Okay.
For it. Yeah.
So
which
she's
with an app on our phone.
Okay, so now they're saying that number one, an apology was issued claiming to be from Kate Middleton on her account in X. So the question people want to know is it Kate Middleton that made the statement? What the hell is going? I don't even know where to start.
I have my doubts. I am certain it was some damage control publicist at work. I'm sure in the palace they've got people working around the clock on this one, trying to figure out how they're going to spin this to the public. We don't know what's going on with it.
Well, the thing I would say about it, you guys, is that it's evidently they took pictures of an AI. It was AI generated. They asked a computer to make the picture, and so the computer took different images of the family and created it from a conglomeration.
Yeah, I think.
And then they might have went in and touched that. I mean, it's just a disaster. So,
yeah.
So it's an event that never happened.
Well, yeah. And wasn't it pointed out by someone because you see leaves on the tree behind them, and someone pointed out this time of year the trees would still be bare, wouldn't they?
Yes. So those, but some of them were yellow, so it would be late September or November.
Well, I saw it could have been November for the picture. But some use that excuse. People who have kids will go, well, I can't get all my kids together to smile at the same time, so I just Photoshop them together. But one of the journalists pointed out, we're talking about the royal family, where obedience is drilled into those children from the time they're practically infants. They're brought up how to behave properly, and so that just didn't make sense. That kind of theory, any kind of claims they're making.
Okay, so we have to crawl out of this with our primitive brain. We have to crawl out of it with our primitive brain, which is our gut, right? So I tell people we don't want to just go with the gut, right? We want to be able to step back and look at things objectively, but we have to start with the gut, because the emotions we're feeling are going to tell us something. I'm sorry if there's feedback. I don't know what's causing it.
Someone was Kate just pointed out Kate had no rings on. Which
the whole entire thing was computer generated. So a computer made it, and then somebody came in and airbrushed, or if it was even her hand or whatever. So this is but when you go, when I went into the remote, I wanted to give words to how I felt as Kate. I said, they want to put me away.
Yeah, you've said that before.
They're putting me away. I'm going to be sent away.
Yeah.
It's like they don't need me anymore because I've had 3 children. And it was also like they want to send the 2 older children away to boarding school so that it's almost like they want to break the natural bond between her and her children.
Yes. It does feel that way. It's just so tragic.
And also feeling like, well, we're not going to make the same mistake we made last time and give her the spare. We're going to take the spare too this time.
That could very well be the thinking. Though the public, we've already seen with the release of this photo, the public is savvy. The press is savvy. They're much more on to the royal family than they used to be. So it makes me question how much the royal family can get away with now, without being called on it.
Let's check first. Was it Kate that apologized? Is she the one that who posted on Twitter? Was it Kate?
Was it Kate? Was it Kate who did the posting on Twitter? Was it Kate who did the post? I got to know. What are you getting?
No, there's so much. Moon, lunacy, confusion.
Yeah.
Crossing a mountain, the cross I must bear, and the clouds of depression. I'm
Yeah.
getting mental health. I am getting mental health problems. These are mental health cards. Moon, lunacy, lunatic, a mountain or a burden you cannot cross, a heavy cross you must bear, clouds in one's coffee.
Let me ask you, do you feel that is actual mental illness on Kate's part, or what is being purported to be to frame her?
There's so many ways we can talk about this. And you know, you guys asked me, if you guys go back and look at the video I made, you guys had like over 300 comments and half of you with questions. So there's only so much we can do today. I mean, can you believe that? Nearly 300 questions, comments. But what I would say is, one of the things that came up is questions about, is William a malignant narcissist? Because when you're married to a malignant narcissist, the only way you can get along with him, sorry, I never can spell that word. We'll just say narcy. When you're married to a malignant narcissist, all you can do is say, yes, dear, and just get. So how timid could she be? And then if you are timid, they don't respect you.
Well, often people in that position are figuratively, if not literally, beaten into submission. And I know this coming from a dysfunctional household with my mother. My father and I were just doing everything we could just to keep the peace in the house and going along with what mom wanted, because it was just the easier way to survive. And I'm wondering if there's an element of that in a case like this, where she's trying to survive.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just check and see if she's suffering from severe mental health problems. I'm sorry about the echo. What's causing it?
Should I do pendulum, Whimsy?
Whatever you like, and cards, both if you like.
Shuffle these.
So I was going to say, the question was about whether or not he was a malignant narcissist. Excuse me, we already asked the last question, which said that she had mental health challenges. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I
had an interesting card. Can I just show it real quick?
Go ahead.
Self-esteem came up because I was asking the question about mental health issues. I'm sorry, I didn't know we were not doing that.
No, that's what perfect. No, thank you, because that is aligned with what I was going to say. Maybe if I close this. How's that? Is that better? Oh, yeah, that is much better.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm so sorry, but I just thought that was interesting to show.
Yeah. So what they're basically saying is that if he's a malignant narcissist, they take no responsibility and they cut you down every chance they get. And so she, instead of saying, I'm an abusive husband who's potentially, even potentially physically violent, people are concerned he's capable of physical violence, because of the fact that he had attacked Harry. So people want to know, is this a case of some type of abuse? Are we talking about some kind of domestic violence where, she now suffers from mental health problems? No, she did not appear. Somebody in Kensington Palace put that statement apologizing, but it doesn't make any sense, because William said he took the picture. Then it turned out that it was AI generated, so nobody took the picture, because
they've already been caught in lies. So how many more lies are there?
Well, that's the thing. Now there's no way to get around it. If William said, I took the picture and it's found to be AI generated, then he lied.
Of course.
So then the next question is, why did he lie? Why did he use an AI and then if it's AI generated, then who put the post up of her apologizing and saying, oh, it was a family event and I just, when no, it wasn't a family event. It was an event that never happened.
No, to me, it just reeked of a PR thing, a publicist doing damage control, writing a statement on her behalf. But there has been speculation. I was watching some of the news where they recounted things like the fact that she had 2 bandaged fingers that she claimed she had injured in a trampoline, but yet she still was wearing her fingers bandaged together like 2 or 3 weeks later. So there was clearly a much more extensive injury. I don't know. Do you think, when you say abuse, do you think it's physical abuse, psychological abuse? Like,
Well, she's right-handed. Okay, she's right-handed.
okay.
So if she was going to be hurting herself, which is one of the theories, she would not be cutting herself this way. She would be cutting herself this way if she was engaged in cutting, right? Which is one of the things that Diana, I believe, there was some concerns about cutting and binge and eating disorder, right? So if she had splashed herself intentionally, it would not have been on the right hand. The other theory is that it was a defensive blow. If somebody had attempted to harm her and she had put up a defense, could she have been hurt because of a defensive blow?
Right.
So, but a mom with 3 rambunctious kids is going to have injuries like that.
Sure.
And a hand, we use hands all the time, and to stabilize it like that so you don't re-injure it is not surprising given, so I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie here said the thoughts I'm getting is that she was clawing him to get away from him. And she further said that comes from experience. Well, what do you think, Whimsy? Do you think it was self?
Let's find out if we can get any information about Kate's hand injuries. Kate's injuries.
Yeah.
Because one thing we know for sure, he's lying, and whoever posted on her Twitter is lying.
Yeah.
There was no event with them sitting and taking that picture. That's what people have to get.
Sorry. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what to read into this yet, but this card literally jumped out. Physical body. And then I got loss and physical body. Now, I don't know what to make of that. Those are the cards I got.
Yeah, like a broken beer bottle or a broken wine bottle. Wendy Bird.
See the angel, the angel in despair, had in their hands, crying. Physical body. I'm kind of getting a sense from this. This does mean physical abuse.
Well, that's the thing. Why not if he's already abusing Harry? If he punched Harry so hard that Harry fell back and smashed, and it broke the dog bowl and sliced into his back. What the hell is he doing to his wife? So his wife, is she doing the same thing?
Well, maybe. And we know that he has temper issues. We already know that. You pointed that out last week with the head injury he had as a child.
Yeah.
Temple there, where that can affect emotions, feelings, temperament. I don't know. That's just a sense I'm getting from these cards here.
The concern, you remember with Harry saying that he could have been a lot meaner about it. This is the head injury right here on the left temporal lobe area and the frontal lobe. This is the area that psychiatrists concerned when there's a blunt trauma injury in this area, and it's linked to psychopathy and also higher risk for some types of dementia later in life. But you can see the gash right there. It hits his left frontal lobe, and it trails to the left temporal lobe, which is the area of an injury that's associated with that type of psychosis associated with lesions and head injuries. So, maybe nothing, maybe he had the injury and nothing came of it. You know, maybe he had the injury and it was minor, and even though it was minor, it did not have the telltale. It's an interesting story where there was a kid that the family was trying to get the money to do a spec and nobody would pay for the spec. They finally got the spec on a child that was threatening to shoot and kill people at the high school.
God.
And when they went in, they found a lesion from a previous head injury from a baseball bat or something.
You mean a
That-
brain?
Yes, a brain injury. And what the brain injury had done is it had severed communication between the ability. First off, anger is triggered more likely, but
Yes.
also impulse. You know, the prefrontal frontal cortex. That's what gives you impulse control.
Yes.
So this is it's a concern to people looking at this when they see evidence that he has poor impulse control, and when they're looking at the severity of this kind of head injury.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then allegedly he's got drinking issues too, alcohol. That's the big
Yeah,
one.
which also, yeah. Okay, so the other question that people are freaking out about, and I literally just got this, and then someone posted it. They said that they heard it through the grapevine. So this is leaking out of Kensington Palace, i.e., from Prince William. Prince William's people are claiming that Kate is having mental health problems. And that she's thinking of stepping down from her royal duties.
Whoa.
So here we have a situation where a couple weeks ago, week and a half, I don't know, when did you guys send me down there? Like you guys send me places, I go, I'm done, I go somewhere else. So when you guys sent me down, that I did in fact have mental health problems. I was constantly, let's talk about our emotions, and he would rather chew on broken glass than talk about my emotions, right? Have you guys remember these conversations? So now I always feel good when I'm vindicated. You know, Chuck? You're crazy, Dr. Whimsy.
Well, we're both crazy, but I like to think
I felt like I had access to pharmaceuticals as Kate. I felt like I had access to red wine as Kate. I felt like I was depressed. My husband was going out every night. He was doing whatever the heck he liked. And I was home alone. And I was being ordered to take care of the children. It was none of my damn business what he was up to. So I became increasingly depressed as Kate. And I found myself going back to what I liked to do back in college, which was drink. So the kids were older. I'm not going to have any more. I can go back to my favorite the kids are asleep. I'm alone. I drink. And so, which is what Diana did. And so I found myself just like Princess Diana, sitting on the couch, on the phone, watching the telly, drinking alcohol. But now I'm more obedient. I'm the girl that stayed. I'm not the one that saved myself like Diana. So Diana, she flushed the pills, remember? All the pills they were happy to give Diana. You take this pill, that pill, this pill, this pill. So she had the alcohol, she had the pills. And I believe that an accident may have happened. An accidental combination of pills. Somebody said, well, you can't even mention what type of pills. Actually, I can. Sleeping pills, but specifically benzodiazepines are what we're concerned about, because a benzodiazepine is a muscle relaxant. And as you know, what happens when you mix a muscle relaxant with alcohol, Chuck?
Oh, yes, I do.
What happens to your breathing?
It can actually stop.
Mm-hmm. Could that cause...
Once. For that very reason.
Right. So that could theoretically cause, could that cause a person to have brain damage?
Yes, I would think, if oxygen can't get to the brain.
Right. So if a person was mixing drugs and alcohol, like a benzodiazepine, muscle relaxant, and alcohol, and then had an accidental overdose and was found unresponsive, and the ambulance was called.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
just
right.
yeah.
That we
And
know
then
about an ambulance.
right, and then they get her to the hospital and attempt to pump her stomach, but unfortunately, she is not responsive because
Oh,
too much time has happened. So
oh,
what? So if she was found and she had not been breathing for say 5 to 10, 20 minutes, what does that result in?
oh, the brain starts dying.
That's right, brain death, right? So what
Yep.
happens when the ET show up? They give you oxygen, right?
Yes. Yes, typically.
Right. And then they get you to the hospital. And then what about stomach pumping?
Stomach pumping, I would imagine.
Yes. Yeah, if you can. You got to get the medicine out of there, right? You got to get the drugs out.
If it were an emergency, would they do that on the spot in the ambulance or wait till they get her to the hospital for such
I
a
don't know
procedure?
enough about emergency medicine, but I don't know how they deal with an overdose depending upon the type. Also, there are certain, if it's fentanyl, you can give certain medications, but the concern would be that the person, if they were brain dead, but they were able to get oxygen to them, then they would be praying that the person wake from coma or that it was not permanent brain damage. They don't know the extent of brain damage until the person wakes up.
Right. I know they claimed that she was they claimed a medically induced coma as part of her healing for the alleged intestinal surgery, but I'm wondering if would you say
See, but
is
that makes no sense because usually when a person has a medically induced coma, it's because someone's had a head injury.
exactly. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought, what? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so I don't really understand. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what it looked like to me is that something happened. She suffers from mental health problems. What's interesting also is that he is blaming Meghan and Harry for his wife's problems.
Such a sociopath.
He's saying that she's stepping down and she's having all these mental health problems because of all the terrible things
Oh.
Meghan and Harry said about her and did.
Oh.
And so if poor Princess Kate is suffering, the persons to blame are, it's not because she was married to a malignant narcissist.
No, of course not. It was Meghan and Harry. Oh, I mean, that's just so absurd.
So, and then Meghan, of course, won the court case. Oh, so the last thing that we wanted to mention about it, and then we'll move on to other subjects, is that CNN has launched a formal investigation into all pictures being released.
I saw that.
The royal family.
They're going to go back into the archives to see how many more pictures were doctored. They're certainly going to go back to like the last 3 or 4 months, back to November or so. But it just seems like every time one of the royals opens their mouth to speak, they just dig themselves in deeper.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do one more and see if she's gone for good or she's coming back or she's going to be well? Let's do one more and then we'll move on.
See,
is she going to be okay? Is she going to be okay?
It comes up. Okay, going to be okay. Well, I'll just shuffle until one falls out onto my desk here.
Okay.
New life. That's what came out. New life. Now, what that means, I don't know if that's positive or negative. I tend to sense positive, like she's going to get away from all of this, rebuild her life again.
You might be right. She may be able to get out of this marriage and start a new life, like a child, a new life.
Right.
Mother, interesting. And then we have a garden, and then a bouquet.
The garden,
She has to stick to the book, so she does have to take care
the
of
flowers, the garden.
Yes, but her husband is the mental health problem. That's the.
Yes, I think that's pretty clear.
I can't believe he would say that. I can't believe that he would actually blame.
Well, it's just so stupid, and
and that is exactly what a malignant narcissist would do too, isn't it? Blame everybody but themselves.
I could just see his publicity people going, "Oh, no, why did you say that?"
Yes, her stomach. Yes, she became very thin. Like either she had like a digestion problem or some other problem. All right. Next subject has to do with changes that are taking place in the GOP dominated House. You guys, thank you to the people who sent me the article. Ken Buck, who had said that he was going to be leaving at the end of the year. He is the congressman out of Colorado.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And not only is he leaving, which is creating one less Republican, but the other thing is that Boebert is leaving her district.
Yeah, they've got a razor thin majority to hold on to. And I was reading in the news that they can't afford to lose more than two members of Congress before they lose their majority.
So I'd like to take a look at the House and see if we're looking at a possible collapse. I mean, like, I think they're just going to have to work with us. They're just going to have to work with the Democrats. But what the future is of the GOP-led House over the next couple months, are we going to see more cooperation or less?
We see more cooperation or less. That's not really it's not really the right question for the pendulum. Let's shuffle the cards here.
I'll go first. It's looking like more cooperation. You can see an anchor solid, a letter, which would mean more bills being passed or more communication. Loyalty to the country is going to be popular again. And we have the birds of communication. So I'm going to predict more work getting done and more bipartisan cooperation.
And look what I pulled, leadership, the leadership card. So that concurs with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. That's why I was holding it up when you said that. Mm-hmm. So it actually looks positive for a change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they're going to survive.
Right. There was something else that I wanted to talk to people about before we close today. Oh my God. Trump is trying to delay. It was something else I wanted to.
Our book club?
No.
Oh, well,
no, Survivors. Our book club. No.
Yes. I don't know if that was what it was. Was it what Jimmy Kimmel said on the Oscars about Trump? Did you hear about that?
What did he say?
Well, Trump tweeted during the Oscar broadcast, well, Jimmy Kimmel is the worst host in history. This is the most boring Oscars ever, blah, blah, blah. Remember I told you they had a few minutes to fill at the end of the show? Jimmy Kimmel, told not to do this, he did it anyway, came out with his phone, read part of the text from Trump, and then he said, gee, Mr. Trump, you're up awfully late tonight. Isn't it past your jail time? Which got
and now I remember thank you, Brenda Liley, for your membership. Much appreciation. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. We get together on Saturdays for our private salon. Hopefully you can make it, Brenda. Thank you. All right. So now I remember what people were freaking out about. It has to do with the fact that Trump has completely taken over the GOP. Were you aware of the fact that Laura Trump is now the head of, and so they're taking complete control over the money and everything.
That's like having a cat watch a plate of tuna. I mean, it's just. It's just crazy. But yeah, I knew that she had taken over. Yeah.
Is anybody surprised by this? Does anybody want to?
Sadly, not surprised.
Let's see how this goes. Let's see how it goes with Laura Trump and the Republican Party, if it's all going to implode or. I can't believe that this has happened in our country. This is so insane. Has this ever happened? This type of thing?
We've talked about this many times. You and I are of that certain age. We remember we were taught about government and history in high school and so forth, and we thought this could never ever happen. It has.
Yeah, he fired the calla lilies of death. He evidently fired a bunch of people, sure, because he wants to keep some money for himself. He doesn't want it to be functional. Look at that coffin. Look at this. Calla lilies of death and coffin. This guy, I swear to God, he works for the Democrats because he has truly killed the Republican Party. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So who says it? Wendy Burt says 15 people were fired.
15 people. Gee.
Look at this. Oh my God, it's the cross.
Oh.
It's the cross you must bear because you chose. Look at that. The sky of death. Honey, you saw me pull these cards.
Yes.
Lilies of death, the coffin, the cross,
oh,
and death. Thank you. He has destroyed the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the money from the Republican Party is not going to be going to promote down ballot. It's only going to be promoting him and paying off his personal debts, which means they'll have no money to promote down ballot or any other races, which means we're going to slaughter them.
Hope so. I certainly hope so.
Oh my gosh.
So much corruption.
Oh, right. Do we have time for one more?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. What?
I said, why not?
All right. So we had some questions come in, and I want to honor the help we're getting out here. Yeah, there's a little bit of feedback. Sometimes it happens if I have the YouTube open as well. Lily Gladstone didn't win. Oh, wow.
No, that was a big surprise.
Who's Lily Gladstone?
She was the star of it's the Martin Scorsese film. What was it? Killers of the Flower Moon? Is that the correct title? I haven't seen it. Anyway, she was the projected Best Actress winner, and Emma Stone won instead.
All right. Joel Tilson would like to know, is Fani Willis going to be removed or stay?
Actually, moved. I'm getting kind of a fudged answer on that. A maybe. It's not going to yes or no. Convoluted.
Well, a bunch of white guys trying to come up with a reason to remove a black woman in a position of power, right? They're going after women of color. You don't have the right to be in a position of power, and they're going to scrupulously look at you if you are a woman of color. If she had been a white guy, would they have done this? Maybe, but probably not. The cross she must bear. She followed the book. Who? The lady.
Yeah.
She tends her garden, and she has a strong inheritance. If she's removed, it'll be due to racism and nothing else, because there's nothing wrong with you can date somebody that's on the same team.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's a married couple that's working on Trump's side, so it doesn't fall into the category of
married couple. Wow.
Yeah. So I think we have time for one more, if you guys want to do one more. Kay was pointing out that Kate had no rings on.
Yeah.
Yes.
No sign of photoshopping.
Yeah, I don't know. God, the computer put it together, and so the computer must have why was it Photoshop? It was an AI generated.
I've seen some weird stuff with AI where hands are missing, fingers, feet. That's not unusual for AI. There's still a lot of bugs in the system.
Huh, how interesting. Wendy said that looks like William didn't take long to be back at the pub yesterday. He was seen at a pub pouring himself a pint.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
And I know, drinking. Well, and you know something, Naomi, was it? I'm trying to read here without my glasses. Is that Naomi? Forgive me if I'm getting your first name wrong, but said married as Thomas. And that was the first thing that popped in my head. And you said married couple, Clarence Thomas and his wife. Could that be working for Trump? That was immediately what I thought. I didn't know whether to say that out loud or not.
Well, you're not if they had been working for opposing teams.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Norm, not Naomi. Forgive me there. Pardon me, Norm.
Yeah, so I mean, if they had been opposing, then that would have been. But they were both working on the same team, so there was no reason to recuse. Revealing Light Tarot. She had a dream. She sat down next to Kate and told her she would only trust talking to her immediate family and wouldn't talk to anyone else. Well, this is the other weird thing, is that the woman in the car with Carol Middleton was not Kate Middleton.
Oh.
The computer has already determined it was not.
You know what else they determined? The person was wearing a wig. They were even able to tell it was a synthetic wig she was wearing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now we have a situation where Carol Middleton, you see how crazy this is getting? Carol Middleton is deliberately being seen driving with somebody who appears to be deliberately trying to look like her daughter.
Yeah.
But it's also Photoshopped because it had 5 wheels. So now they don't even, so now that picture may be Photoshopped. What the heck is happening here?
You know, a lot of stupidity here.
Boy, isn't it true? People that say we're going to be woke and that the meek among us are going to be whatever, and then everything's going to flip, and the truth is coming out. But oh my God, this is even worse than I had anticipated.
This is a big lesson for celebrities and any kind of public figure. Don't be stupid about photoshopping your pictures because you'll get caught. People are too savvy to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, much too savvy.
All right. So this last thing that I want to just ask you has to do with Ken Buck, Liz Cheney. Do you think that Liz Cheney, and just over to the audience, she's a Republican we can disagree with.
Yeah.
I think she's a pro-choice Republican.
I think she is, yes.
She thinks her party has gone insane. Do you think she is coming back, or do you think that she's done forever?
I have a feeling the way the GOP party stands right now, there's no way she can come back. But some have speculated she might form her own party. And in fact, she's been encouraged to do that by quite a few. From what I
think it'd be a great idea.
I think it would too.
Let's take a look at Liz Cheney's future.
What should I ask?
Just cards. What kind of cards do you see over the future of Liz Cheney?
Okay. Pull 4 interesting cards here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I pulled 2. They came out of the deck together. Discontent and solitude. So I take that to mean she's got to lay low for a while, make her new plans, decide what her next course of action is. But then I got leadership and celebration. So I think, yes, she's in discontent, obviously. Solitude right now, reformulating what she's going to do. But ultimately, she's going to seize what she needs to do to be a leader. And I see celebration as something positive coming out of that. No, what did you get?
Well, it's so interesting. It's almost like passive infanticide where you just kind of forget to feed your baby and they die from starvation. There's a feeling here that she and many Republicans feel that the best thing that the GOP that they can do for the GOP is nothing and just sit back and let Trump implode the entire thing. And then from the ashes, they will build something. She is unbelievably loyal to her party, to the history of her party. She presents as the dog, but there are snakes among her as her opposition. She looks to the ancestry or the history. It's, you know, she talks about Abraham Lincoln and wanting to go back to the original foundations of the party and its history, but the death of the party. You know, you have those cavaliers of death, but over her, I would not say death, because the clarification fifth card with Lenormand, you do a fifth card. She has luck. So even though I think that the Republican Party is dead, I don't think that her future is dead. I think she may actually have a future.
Celebration.
Yeah. So she may celebrate the death of the old party, because when the old party dies, then it'll be an opportunity to build a new party. Oh,
Who wanted to be on camera? Actually, she was about to knock my light over, so I had to pick her up. How's Mila doing?
Oh, she's out like a light somewhere. Well, I had fun. Did you have fun, Chuck?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And of course, we always are grateful to all of you. We are now, like I said, over 41,000 members. Thank you so much. And be sure to join us at the end of the month for our Book of the Month Club. We get together at 6 p.m. every Tuesday, and we read a book that one of you has written. If you've written a book that you think we would like for our book club, please send it to Dr. Whimsy Anderson, 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, 97201, and maybe you can be part of our book club. This month, we are happily reading Victims and Survivors, Journey from Dysfunction to Junction by Leslie Kane. How are you liking the book?
Well, I just got the book, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it very much. I know that, you know, you choose the book every month, and so far, every single one since we started doing this has been superb. So I know this will be
This
awesome.
one is so raw. You'll see when you, particularly when she confronts her parents and has to. It's very dark. I mean, like, it's what human beings are capable of doing to children. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to have some vested interest in this. I know very much.
We'll have some very deep conversations.
Yes.
All right. Any announcements for anything coming up for you before we close?
Well, just please like and subscribe my own channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. I do a live stream on Mondays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Chuck's Captivating Chat. And I'm posting lots of videos about old Hollywood, I Love Lucy, industry news. And Sasha, you just saw she has her own channel, Sasha's Siamese Secrets. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you, too. Much love and God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. We love you. Bye.